all summer long. We bounce around to different community centers, over BNBL games. Just a talented group of guys that we've seen a couple of these teams throughout the season. Wiggins with the one-handed block.
Wait for that one.
To win it, Mercer gets it to go. 3 seconds left.
That might get the Showstoppers going.
Ball to the rim. What a play! Great ball.
Well played. Both teams really deserve to be in the championship game.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Reggie Lewis Center in Roxbury for the 2017 Girls BNBL Championships. First up, we got the girls 13 and under division as Leahy-Halloran will be taking on the Showstoppers. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner, as always, Alan Platt. Alan, we're at the BNBL Championships at the very end of the summer. These wacky 2 days here at the Reggie Lewis Center, and a familiar sight for the last 3 seasons. This is the 3rd season now in a row that the Showstoppers BNBL program has made all 3 girls division championship games.
Well, it just shows you how strong the program is, all the way from the 10-year-olds up through the 18-year-olds. So more of the same, as you're saying. And we saw them earlier this season play well, play together. Unselfish is probably the key word on offense, but they win because of their defense. And even even the 11, 12, and 13-year-olds we're going to see first, they defend, they hustle, they get in passing lanes, they get steals, they get easy layups.
Yeah, we saw the Showstoppers team our very last week of coverage of the regular season over at the Shelburne Center. Right. They like to run. They can also shoot the basketball, too.
They can. I mean, they have good offense, but again, Coach Lassiter always, he's very, very I want to say strict, but he teaches the girls that your defense and right, there you go. All right, that's better. All right, that actually sets up their offense going, and they love playing together. It makes it fun. Yeah, because the game you're talking about, they were shorthanded, but even with just 5 players, they were still able to have all their principles in place, so they won the game.
Without question, they were a very impressive team that last week of the regular season where they saw them over at the Shelburne Center. Now, Leahy-Halloran also plays at the Shelburne Community Center, so these 2 teams are familiar with each other. And when you get to a championship game, and sometimes all bets are off, even if these teams, have played a few times and one team has had more success than the other.
Well, and again, it's all relative. We talked about the BNBL and players being in and out of town and missing games and not missing games. They played 3 times, as you mentioned. 2 of the games are sort of blowouts, but Halloran didn't have all their players. The one game they had all their players was like a 6-8 point game. Right. So clearly there's an opportunity for them if they play up to their potential to stay with the Showstoppers and try to make it a close game.
Without question. Now for more on the Leahy-Halloran team, we're going to go to our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky. Seth, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. They say it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Well, today the Showstoppers are going to have to make it 4 in a row in one season to come away with the 13 and under title. They are very familiar with this Leahy-Halloran team who plays at the Shelburne Center, a group out of Neponset. And Leahy-Halloran, team that's known for their defensive prowess and for playing smart. Both coaches emphasize this game's really going to come down to how Leahy-Halloran deals with the very strong press of this Showstoppers side. In the first 3 meetings, there was 1 game that was close. Leahy-Halloran had most of their roster. The other 2 times it wasn't a full roster and it was blowout losses. For the first time all season, Leahy-Halloran will have their top 3 players available. We'll see if that's enough to make the difference right after this.
Thanks very much, Seth. And certainly, as he said, 4th matchup between these 2 teams. We'll see what happens. Crazier things have happened at the BNBL Championships.
Yeah, I was just reviewing some of the stats you had from recent years, and some of the games, a couple of games went to overtime. Right. Close scores, so you can never tell. I mean, Showstoppers obviously coming confident. They're both familiar with each other. The last point that Seth made, the top 3 players for Leahy-Halloran will be actually together for the first time in quite a while, and here they are in the title game.
Yeah, the BNBL, a lot of times players are all over the place during the summer, but they always seem to come together at the championship games.
They do their best to be here for this week, right?
Right, yeah. And we're going to see that throughout the day. Probably more players on rosters than all summer long. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the opening tap from the girls' 2017 13 and under BNBL Championship game here from the Reggie Lewis Center in Roxbury right after these words. Don't go away.
For homework. He hates homework. It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools.
Welcome back to the Reggie Lewis Center for the girls 13 and under BNBL Championship here in 2017. Shelburne taking on Leahy-Halloran. Shelburne in the yellow uniforms, Leahy-Halloran in the green, and we are underway as the Showstoppers rather, force the foul, and they control the opening tap.
Yeah, drive to the basket by Sienna Gibson. The reaching foul.
Corner three, no good from Andrea Manley, and here comes Leahy-Halloran. Good poke steal that time from Amelia Ogilvy. We saw her get about, I think, 8 steals a couple of weeks ago in their regular season finale.
Yeah, she was definitely a spark plug defensively.
Another three on the way for the Showstoppers. That one well off the mark. Rebound comes down to Claire McCarthy. And that foul is going to be on the Showstoppers. And they see the Showstoppers getting in that full court press. Good job getting up the floor for Leahy-Halloran. And Seda De Silva get fouled on her way to the basket.
So that's 2 quick fouls on Winter Neal Cope for Showstoppers. I think she's going to come out of the game now.
Yeah, Cope, one of the few players with size for the Showstoppers. They're not a big team compared to teams in the past. And De Silva, no good on the first free throw.
Yeah, there's Cope coming out with those 2 quick fouls.
Biondi Trentidum now in for the Showstoppers. Oh for 2 from the free throw line is De Silva. Still no score here at the Reggie Lewis Center.
A little too much on that one. Trying to swing the ball. Looks like some nerves here to start the game for the 13 and under girls. Not unusual.
Yeah, for a lot of girls, this is their first time playing on this court. Back to De Silva.
De Silva dominating the dribbling.
That ball's going to stay with Leahy-Halloran as they were able to hang on to it. Then it's stolen away by the Showstoppers. And quickly up the floor, they get it to Trentiton. And now it's Gibson lining up a three. That's no good. And that'll stay with the Showstoppers. Drive to the rim, count the no, they're going to call a traveling violation on Trentiton.
Looked like a nice move, but sort of an extra half step there.
Three and a half minutes gone by here in the first half. Still no score between Leahy-Halloran and the Showstoppers. Another turnover for Leahy-Halloran.
You see Leahy-Halloran trying to get the ball to De Silva. She must be one of their top scorers because every time down they've tried to get her the ball. She's going to take a break, I guess, to try to calm down a bit.
Both teams with 3 turnovers to start off this championship game. Trentiton trying to drive to the basket. She gets fouled inside.
Reaching foul. So that'll be an out of bounds play for Showstoppers.
Traveling violation on the Showstoppers. So both teams
a little nervous. Still, just a little nervous.
Yeah,
because
almost
they're
trying a little too hard.
Yeah. Coaches always say, just going too fast for yourself.
Leahy-Halloran, they're moving the ball around a little bit, but they still haven't been able to get
They got
open look so far.
Well, that's the key. See, you have this swarming defense by Showstoppers. It's going to be a travel there. She lost her pivot foot. See, whenever the ball goes near the sideline, Showstoppers is going to double team. And they got the girls with the long arms, long reach, very active.
And that's the first basket of the game, and it's a 3 from Briandi Trentiton. Now we got a trap in the backcourt. That's the vaunted press from the Showstoppers. Trentiton with the steal. Down to Ogilvie. She's unable to hit the layup. Another rebound comes down to McCarthy. Quickly up the floor, they get it to Doherty, and she cannot hit the layup.
First fast break for Leahy-Halloran. That's going to be out of bounds. You mentioned, Pat, a lot of players playing here for the first time. That far sideline is a little strange because it's really far away from where the stands are. Another poke steal.
A little bit of contact on McCarthy, pulling down another rebound. She's got at least 3 so far here in the first half. Substitution for the Showstoppers as Taylor Barrows comes into the ball game. Andrea Manley heading to the bench. McCarthy quickly up the floor, but pass a little too high that time for Ava Daly. Runner no good from the Showstoppers. Where Ogilvie always has her nose around the ball.
Now, you talk about that with football players a lot,
right,
but she's a perfect example in basketball. Nice pass, too.
Trentiton scoring the layup underneath. She's got the first 5 points of the ball game, and now we get a foul on the Showstoppers. That foul's going to be on Chayil Marasthini.
Showstoppers with 3 substitutions, more fresh legs in the game.
And once again, they convert the layup. That time it's Gibson. So Sienna Gibson, their first basket, 7-0 run here for the Showstoppers. Gibson comes up with the steal. But the Showstoppers a little sloppy with the basketball. That's going to go back to Leahy-Halloran.
Yeah, we talked about Showstoppers' defense in the open. 6 steals already here in the first 8 minutes. Make it 7.
That time Gibson got caught underneath the hoop. Here comes McCarthy for Leahy-Halloran. She's going to try to take it all the way in, and does for their first basket.
Yeah. Coast to coast.
See if that helps Leahy-Halloran get going a little bit offensively.
3-second violation.
Leahy-Halloran again getting some open floor off the press break. Good feed inside. And another basket.
Yeah, what they've done, their biggest player actually is helping to bring the ball up. Claire McCarthy, she's been effective. She scored their first basket. Then that time, she basically made the pass that led to the layup.
Maeve Doherty with that bucket.
Gonna be a held ball. They'll go back to Leahy-Halloran.
So Leahy-Halloran has cut that lead for the Showstoppers down to 3 with just under 6 minutes left to go in the first half. Good steal inside. Basket no good.
Another held ball. This one's going to go back to Showstoppers. Colt back in the game in a drive.
Another runner from the Showstoppers. That's going to go out of bounds back to Leahy-Halloran.
Yeah, I think Cope's a little frustrated. She got to have those 2 early fouls in the first minute of the game. She just got back in, tried 2 quick drives to the basket.
I think the referees were saying that there was a 5-second violation on Leahy-Halloran.
Yeah, coach is trying
to call a timeout.
Leahy-Halloran,
they're saying there was a timeout.
All right, so they are getting the timeout.
So there is a timeout for Leahy-Halloran. We'll see if the Showstoppers get the ball back after the timeout. Our sideline reporter Seth Orensky's got an update. Seth, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. Clinton Lassiter and this Showstoppers team said they really wanted to get out to a hot start and hope that getting out to a 4-point lead could push it further and further. Well, they stretched it to 7-0 after 8 minutes, but a quick 4-0 spurt from Leahy-Halloran has them right back in this game. Their head coach and their coaching staff is just focused on not turning the ball over on inbounds. They've done an okay job on the press break, but a couple times turning it over right near their own basket has led to some easy looks for this Showstoppers side. Guys, take it away.
Thanks very much, Seth. And basketball, as we always say, is a game of runs. The Showstoppers came out with a big run. Now Leahy-Halloran coming right back with a run of their own.
Yeah, I think the adjustment they made, Claire McCarthy at number 11, the biggest player they have, seems to be helping bring the ball up.
So they are going to give the ball to Leahy-Halloran. So they did award them the timeout before the 5-second violation occurred. And here comes McCarthy with a clear path to the basket. She gets fouled, scores the bucket, and one. She can tie it up with this free throw.
She's been the key to the game, Pat. Ever since when the game was 7-0 to start out, you had Leahy-Halloran start to get McCarthy the ball. She was the effective one making the press-breaking passes. She has an assist, and now she has 4 points.
Unable to tie it up with the free throw. Leahy-Halloran now 0 for 3 from the free throw line. Three-pointer on the way and good for the Showstoppers. Knocking down the three.
That's Cope.
Is Neil Cope.
So here comes McCarthy again.
McCarthy on the drive. Good move to the basket, was unable to convert. Manley comes away with the rebound for the Showstoppers. Short jumper, no good. But it's Shepard trying again. And that was off of Leahy-Halloran, so that'll stay with the Showstoppers. Substitution for the Showstoppers as Trent Teeden comes back in. Also coming in for Leahy-Halloran is Ava Duffy.
The one thing we're seeing, Showstoppers using many more players.
They're blocked inside by Leahy-Halloran. Manley couldn't hang on to that pass. Pass up the floor for Leahy-Halloran, but it's stolen away by the Showstoppers. Here comes Manley. And Winter unable to convert that banker, and here comes McCarthy once again.
This has been their best offense.
Unable to convert, and it's Manley again with the rebound, but it's McCarthy who steals it away. Knocked out of bounds, and that'll stay with Leahy-Halloran.
Having a tough time in the inbound.
McCarthy with the rebound. Another steal by Ogilvy. Trent Teeten gonna take it herself, couldn't finish the layup. Good rebound for the Showstoppers. They swing it over to Trent Teton.
It's going to be a travel there.
She carried it like a football on that one.
Yeah.
And now it's Seda De Silva coming back in for Leahy-Halloran. Swing to Ogilvy. Neil Cope, no good on the three. Ogilvy with the rebound.
He's like the Energizer Bunny, right? Getting to the ball.
And Leahy-Halloran comes away with it inside. Going coast to coast is Corey Miller, but she's short with the jumper. Maristini now coming back with it for the Showstoppers.
Ogilvy's giving up a few open shots.
Now a fight for the loose ball, and
held ball.
It's going to go back to Leahy-Halloran. Just over a minute left to go here in the first half. Leahy-Halloran with another substitution as Ava Daly comes back in. And Corey Miller heads to the bench.
Leahy-Halloran has settled down offensively, but they're still having trouble. Another three for Showstoppers.
Yeah, Sienna Gibson, nothing but nylon that time for the Showstoppers. They've extended their lead to 7.
That's her second three.
45 seconds left to go here in the half. Good poke steal, but it's going to stay with Leahy-Halloran.
They got to find McCarthy. Yes, yes. Nice pass.
Good block inside that time from Neil Cope. Going coast to coast is Sienna Gibson. 9-point lead now for the Showstoppers. We'll see if Leahy-Halloran can score just before the half. And that's going to go back to the Showstoppers. Leahy-Halloran couldn't quite hang on.
Final shot time for Showstoppers.
Quick shot that time from Trent Teton. It's going to give Leahy-Halloran with a possible shot before the half. And that is going to do it for the first half here at the girls' 2017 13 and under BNBL Championship, as the Showstoppers lead Leahy-Halloran 15-6. And we mentioned the opening 7-0 run that the Showstoppers had. Then Leahy-Halloran came back with a nice run of their own, but
7-4. Then turnovers.
These last couple of minutes.
Well, it's Leahy-Halloran's having a tough time just getting inbounding the ball. The full court pressure at any point on the floor that the Showstoppers are staying with, that's really affecting the Leahy-Halloran girls. I like that McCarthy, the big girl, has actually sort of taken over a lot of the ball handling.
Right.
She's been a little more effective, but she can't do it all. And double team her, she's going to make the right play and pass the ball, but their best offense is to have the ball in her hands.
Leahy-Halloran coach Daniel Griffin is with our sideline reporter Seth Orensky. Seth, take it away.
Joined by Danny Griffin of Leahy-Halloran. Coach, that first half, a game of runs. They started 7-0. You got it back to 1 and then an 8-0 run. What do you need to do to try to keep it a little bit more even in the second half?
With that team, they're obviously a very good team, very well-coached team, and with them, we have to break the press and take care of the ball. If we don't do that, we'll have no chance of winning. But I think down 9, we're kind of lucky to be down 9 right now, so hopefully it gets better in the second half.
Defensively, you said that's what you guys pride yourselves on. Outside of the 3 ball, you've done a really nice job. How do you turn your defense into a little bit more offense in the second half?
Well, that's the plan for the second half. We have to communicate better and pass the ball better, take care of the ball, and challenge the 3-point shooters in their team. Other than those 3-pointers, it's probably an 8-6 game right now without a couple of those 3-pointers. So we just got to play harder, that's all.
Thanks so much for your time, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Guys, it's all yours.
Thanks very much, Seth. And boy, when you can combine turnovers with 3-pointers, that's when a big run starts to get going. That's what we saw in the end of the first half there.
Exactly. The last couple of minutes, it was all Showstoppers, and you talked about the three-point shooting. They're comfortable because, like we said in the open, they're unselfish. They pass the ball until they have a wide-open teammate who's in her range to take a shot. I mean, we've seen a lot of shots go up, but you know, the three-pointers have been the difference in the first half.
Without question, big run there for the Showstoppers. At the end of the half, we'll see what Leahy-Halloran can do just to start the second half here at the girls' 13 and under BNBL Championship. Folks, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll have the start of the second half here at the Reggie Lewis Center right after these words. Don't go away.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to the Reggie Lewis Center in Roxbury for the girls' 13 and under 2017 BNBL Championship. As the Showstoppers lead Leahy-Halloran 15-6. The Showstoppers are going to start off the second half with the basketball and a 9-point lead. We'll see if they can continue what they were doing at the end of the first half. We'll see if Leahy-Halloran can make a stand here and maybe create some turnovers of their own. A runner to start off the game goes for Marasthini. So
good way to start the half for the Showstoppers.
Right.
Set play. A little bit of a weave. First time we've seen this from Leahy-Halloran. I guess just get them settled down in the half-court offense. McCarthy.
Play inside, and it goes for Leahy-Halloran. That's Corey Miller with the bucket. Ogilvy for three around the rim and out.
Nice cut.
Wide open look for Leahy-Halloran.
Two good plays on offense in the half court for Leahy-Halloran.
That was Lola Griffin scoring that layup. Nice drive inside, but the shot no good. But a good rebound for the Showstoppers. Three-pointer, no good off the swing. Another offensive rebound. That one no good. And the Showstoppers right now dominating the offensive glass.
They just quicker to the ball. I mean, I mentioned in the first half they're lengthened with their arms and reaching in, getting to the balls, but they're also with their feet quicker to get you loose balls. The rebound difference right now is 19-8. With the Showstoppers taking advantage of their rebounding.
Second free throw, no good.
The foul on the rebounding action on Shepard.
Another good poke steal from Ogilvy. We saw her do that 3 or 4 times a couple of weeks ago at the Shelburne. Another offensive rebound inside. Put back is good for Marasthini. And she's been getting all over the offensive glass for the Showstoppers here to start off the second half.
So a head of steam from McCarthy.
Beautiful pass inside, but it's not converted. And that jump ball will stay with Leahy-Halloran.
Got wholesale substitution for Showstoppers.
Steal inside. for the Showstoppers. Here comes Manley. She's got a wide open Trent Tatum. Good pass back inside, but good recovery from Leahy-Halloran. Manley on the drive, unable to convert. And that'll go back to Leahy-Halloran.
Well, I'll tell you, Leahy-Halloran is changed up from the first half. Their half-court offense is much more effective. Cuts to the basket, setting picks.
Another good pass, but a great block inside from Neil Cope. And Shelburne Showstoppers are given the timeout here with 10:50 left to go in the second half. There's the block inside from Neil Cope.
28-10, and it's a interesting game, Pat, because in some ways the Showstoppers are doing what they want. Defensively, getting offensive rebounds and scoring, have a 10-point lead, but you have to like the way the Leahy-Halloran has been able to sort of settle themselves for the second half. They still only have 10 points, but they're getting much better shots and much better offense.
Yeah, they seem to be able to move the ball around the floor when they're in that half-court offense, but there always seems to be a showstopper on them as soon as they have a crease for an open look.
That's the key, and they're shooting with while they're being defended. But they've made a couple of good hoops in their half-court set.
Manley on the drive, no good on the runner. Neil Cope rather, there for the putback.
That's the size you talked about, Pat. Even though, like you said, Showstoppers team is not as big as we've seen in previous summers, they still have a height advantage over this team.
That three is good that time. Or the short jumper, rather, is good for Leahy-Halloran. That was Lola Griffin, her second basket.
I get it. The assist from McCarthy.
Manley for three, no good.
Well, it's going to be a third foul on Cope.
McCarthy looking inside. And once again, stolen away by Trent Tatum, and it's going to go back to the Showstoppers.
Nice steal.
And Leahy-Halloran takes a timeout here with 9:17 left to go in the second half. Showstoppers still with a 10-point lead. And Leahy-Halloran right now, sort of like you mentioned, it's calmed down. They've sort of stopped the bleeding a little bit here.
They definitely
Showstoppers haven't really gone on a run, but they haven't cut into the lead very much either.
Well, that's the problem. Showstoppers can score in so many ways. I mean, they haven't, you know, they can shoot from the outside. So far this half, they've just taken advantage of their offensive rebounding. But Leahy-Halloran is doing a much better job getting themselves some open shots.
Our sideline reporter Seth Orensky's got a quick update. Seth, what do you have?
Guys, it's not a coincidence that the Showstoppers have won 4 championships in a row at the 13-under level. Clinton Lassiter is preaching just the basics, the fundamentals throughout this game rather than a game-in situation, and that's a big part of why they've been so successful the last 5 years.
Thanks very much, Seth.
Talk about a program growing. That's exactly what he's done.
Steal there for Andrea Manley. I mentioned. And McCarthy with the steal. Scores the layup. Back to single-digit lead for the Showstoppers. Another steal. Again. McCarthy again. They're going to call that a clean block for Neil Cope.
Almost back-to-back hoops by McCarthy. And new five again.
Wholesale substitutions for the Showstoppers. Ava Duffy back in for Leahy-Halloran.
McCarthy.
Blocked again.
See, the other thing that's happening is we are seeing Leahy-Halloran fight for the ball much better than they did in the first half. So pressure by Leahy-Halloran.
Another missed layup for the Showstoppers inside. McCarthy looking for the open teammate. And that one is off the mark for McCarthy. That's going to go back to the Showstoppers.
It's the first outside shot she's taken, but she's still the key to their offense. The Showstoppers can break the press a couple of ways, either with the pass or the dribble. The ball will go back to Leahy-Halloran. Still an 8-point game.
And another steal for the Showstoppers, as we see Seda Da Silva coming back in. And that short jumper no good from the Showstoppers. Showstoppers have gone cold here midway through the second half. Leahy-Halloran's got to find a way to take advantage of that. And they airmail that pass. That'll go back to the Showstoppers. And almost a steal there from Leahy-Halloran. McCarthy with a good hustle.
This full-court pressure is sort of a chance that Leahy-Halloran's taking because they are only down 8.
Nice move to the basket there for the Showstoppers, as once again Sienna Gibson finding a lane. Another steal from Ogilvie. Ogilvie with a pass to Gibson off the up fake, and she's unable to convert.
Da Silva, shot blocked, gets it back.
And she loses it out of bounds. Just under 5 minutes left to go here in the second half. Back to a 10-point lead for the Showstoppers. Ogilvie converting off the fast break.
They know how to convert. Going to be a 4th foul on Neil Cope.
You got to think Leahy-Halloran's going to try to go at Neil Cope. If she can get out of the game, that's good for Leahy-Halloran because she's been the one blocking all their shots on the inside.
She's been blocking shots, getting rebounds.
Da Silva, no good from 3. Big time rebound inside for the Showstoppers. Ogilvie and Neil Cope sort of lost it on the way to the basket. Now it's McCarthy. And she gets it stolen away. That's Maristini. Up to Gibson off the fake. Gibson unable to hit the layup, but she'll head to the free throw line.
Yeah, Sienna really developing her game. You see a nice move to the basket. We saw her go to her right last time. That time went to the left. Her father, Leroy Gibson, been a coach for a long time in the Boston area. And Shiana, 9 points so far for her. Yeah, Neil Cope's coming out saying that 2 of her 4 fouls, he doesn't even know where they came from.
That's why she didn't say all 4. She didn't know where they came
at least
from.
she's being honest, right? trying to be diplomatic.
Right.
So 10 points for Gibson now. Leading score in the game. It's going to be a reaching foul.
Coming up on 2.5 minutes left to go in the second half. They do stop the clock inside of 2 minutes. Long 2 on the way, no good off the backboard, and Leahy-Halloran fighting for the loose ball. I believe it's going back to the Showstoppers.
Yeah, difference from halves. Leahy-Halloran much more aggressive this half.
More substitutions for the Showstoppers.
Yeah, some of the girls for Leahy-Halloran are really winded, but they're hanging in with this full court pressure.
Manley on the drive, and she gets fouled on her way to the hoop.
That was good defense. The defender for Leahy-Halloran was stuck on a 2-on-1. That was Daly. You see Ava is not giving up the layup.
You see Manley, a strong drive. She was our MVP
That's right.
game a couple of weeks ago. And she hits the first free throw. She was knocking down threes in that game. Hasn't quite been on the mark this game, but you can see the type of skill that she has. She'll actually be in the 15 and under game as well.
And she mentioned to us at the shop, and she's on her way to Cathedral High School.
Showstoppers now 4 for 6 from the free throw line, and they have a 15-point lead. McCarthy off the crossover. Good look. But the shot's no good that time from Ava Duffy. But
Nice
Duffy
steal
there
by
for
McCarthy.
I'm sorry, that's Doherty with the layup. Basket and the foul inside for the Showstoppers. That's Julia Armano.
Well, when you go full court press, you take the chance that you're gonna once the press breaks half court, someone's gonna be open, either a 2-on-1 or maybe even a 3-on-1. That time Armano on the 2-on-1. Watch her finish this one off. A little flip shot and finish the 3-point shot.
So 3-point play there for Julia Armano. And that puts the Showstoppers up by 16 with 1:20 left to go in the second half.
There's McCarthy.
Good look inside, and once again, that's Maeve Doherty.
Play a held ball.
Possession goes to Leahy-Halloran. Number 3, Lola Perkins.
The Showstoppers will continue their winning streak. They won all 3 girls BNBL Championship games last year and then the year before in 2015, and they're off to a good start again as the 1300 team is clearly going to win this one.
Like you said, a few of these girls will be playing in the 1500 game also.
Right. We mentioned the type of sort of almost dynasty, I guess you could say, that the Showstoppers have had. Pretty good effort here from Leahy-Halloran. They have had a tough time knocking down outside shots.
That's been the problem.
And the turnover.
Turnovers, well, yeah, the turnovers first, then the lack of outside shooting. McCarthy's been the best player for the Leahy-Halloran. She'll get, there's not a bonus yet. I think she actually bumped knees. Looks like she's all right.
I wouldn't be surprised if she was banged up after this game. She's taken a lot of knocks as she's driven inside.
Yeah, she's been their best player.
Good look inside and the easy layup. That time for Talia Shepard.
Another block.
And that one sent out of bounds. It'll stay with Leahy-Halloran.
10 seconds left to try to score one more hoop. Another steal. Armano. Gonna do it.
So the Showstoppers, for 3 years in a row now, have won the girls 13 and under BNBL Championship. They take down Leahy-Halloran 34-18. And in that first half, it was both these teams sort of going back and forth, but this second half, it was mostly all Showstoppers. They were able to hit from the outside. They were able to create turnovers, go to the basket. There was pretty much nothing they really weren't able to do in that second half.
Well, you're right. And the real issue is that they can score so many ways. But that defense is just tough. They swarm all over you, make it very difficult for you to get any open shots, and they're able to score off their defense. Pretty much all their fast breaks came off either a defensive rebound or a quick steal. And then Leahy-Halloran was forced to go into full court pressure, which the Showstoppers, they're experienced enough to break that and get easy layups. So even though Leahy-Halloran did a much better job the second half, they had 6 points in the first half. They had 12 in the second half. Much better job scoring. Defensively, they just had a hard time keeping up.
Without question. And that swarming defense of the Showstoppers once again creating a lot of offense for them, and that's how they got to this double-digit lead and were able to win pretty handily here at the girls 13 and under BNBL Championship. Folks, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll have our Game of the Week MVP and the final stats from the girls 13 and under BNBL Championship right after these words. Don't go away.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Got a quarter?
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish! In your face! In your face!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back to the Reggie Lewis Center in Roxbury at the conclusion of the girls' 2017 13 and under BNBL Championship. The Showstoppers take down Leahy-Halloran 34-18. Alan, you mentioned the Showstoppers, how many different ways they could score. A lot of girls who could do a lot of different things, but the girl who scored in the most variety of ways was Sienna Gibson. She is our MVP tonight. Phenomenal game for her, double-digit points and a lot of other things. She is with our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky. So, Seth, take it away.
Joined by our Showstoppers MVP, Sienna Gibson, and head coach Clinton Laster. Sienna, this was your first title game. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. They got it back to 7-6, and then immediately you guys went on a run. What were you guys talking about in the huddle and on the court to get you guys back into a big lead?
Honestly, it was just teamwork. Like, you can't be selfish. You can't dribble the ball too much. You need to pass down the court and just be a team instead of being selfish.
It seemed like they were able to handle your press for a little bit, and then in the second half, they got a little bit tired. When you see the other teams turning the ball over in the press, how much easier and how much hungrier do you get as a team knowing that you have a chance to really push that lead out?
It just gives us a whole bunch of boost and motivation.
And then last, this was your first chance to play here to get that title. Was there a little bit of pressure knowing that Showstoppers has had so much success going over the last couple of years?
Not really. It's just you have to play your game, and then when you play your game, it benefits.
Well, you look like a college player playing out there. Congratulations. Coach, fourth time this season. They gave you some problems in the middle of that first half. What do you think the difference was going into halftime? Obviously, your three-point shooting gave you a lift, but it seemed like you were able to really slow them down offensively and then push it away.
Well, as I said, they're a disciplined team, so just once they started adjusting to our press, we just went straight man-to-man and just tried to wear them down. It wasn't as deep in players-wise, so we know their main players have to do a lot. So, like I said, they're a skilled team. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, and I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
How do you get these players to be this calm? I mean, Sienna, there was no nerves here. I think you find a lot of middle school, high school players having a little bit of nerves playing at a college campus, and yet this team never seemed to show it all game.
Well, our program, we go all year round. So we play in the summer, and we play in the fall, we play in the spring. So they're used to compete at a high level. We travel across the nation to compete against the best. So now being in the limelight like this, when the TVs are on, they're not as nervous. They still have the nerve. If you saw them on the bench and heard them on the bench, you heard how nervous they were. But, you know, just playing all year round makes it a lot easier.
One title down, two more potentially to go. Can you breathe a little bit easier after that one?
It gets no easier. No, not at all.
Congratulations, Coach. Good luck the rest of the day. Another title for the Showstoppers here at the 13 and under level.
Thanks very much, Seth. Coach Bronco Lassiter, certainly no stranger to championships. His Cathedral girls basketball team that he's the head coach of just won the girls Division IV state championship on the high school side. And certainly the Showstoppers programs, we see a lot of the girls from the Cathedral program playing in the Showstoppers program, and they also play the same way. You can see it out there on the court.
Well, and the key, what the last thing that Lassiter said is they play all year round. So they're comfortable with each other. They're comfortable with different settings, and they run the same program. That's the key. Everything is pressure defense, run, a lot of substitutions in and out. Everyone knows when you go out there, you play 100% all out. Don't pace yourself on either side of the floor because you are going to get subbed out, get a chance to rest, then go back in.
Right.
So it actually works really well, and I think that's the key to why it's easy to get the girls to play together so well, because they know they're all going to compete, they know they're all going to be a part of it. Some obviously more than others, but everyone will have the chance to play, to be a part of a successful program, and it's been rolling for quite some time.
We saw Sienna Gibson get the MVP in that girls 13 and under game. We didn't see her much in that last game we covered of the Showstopper. She wasn't as big a factor as she was in this game, so it just seems like there's so many different girls that can contribute for them.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. You can see they have good three-point shooting, they have good talent, but the key to me is they all work hard. In the first half, they got literally every loose ball. Now, the second half, the other team did compete better, and there was a bunch of jump balls, held balls, but in the beginning of the game, Showstoppers like to jump out to a lead and then sort of get everybody involved, get everybody to play, and in some cases just coast. This one's a little tougher, like Coach Lassiter said. He gave credit to the fact that at one point it was a one-point game.
Right.
But it didn't take long before the three-point shooting, the turnovers, the forced turnovers, offensive rebounding. Before you know it's a double-digit game.
Yeah, the ball just kept rolling for the Showstoppers. Right. Let's take a look at the final stats from this game before we sign off from the Reggie Lewis Center in Roxbury. And first up, it's the Leahy-Halloran.
Well, for Leahy-Halloran, McCarthy and Darley both had 6 points. McCarthy, by far their best player. I just thought she needed to shoot the ball a lot more, but she was very unselfish, had some assists. McCarthy also had 4 rebounds. Miller had 2 rebounds. Like I said, McCarthy was 4 assists and 1 for Daly.
Well, let's take a look at the Showstoppers final stats.
This Showstoppers, Trent Tatum, 5 points, 10 for Gibson, our outstanding player. Maristini with 6 rebounds, Molly with 5, and then Ogilvie, the little fire plug, 4 assists and 2 for Neil Cope.
Ogilvie all over the court. She probably could have been our MVP just from the way that she had a nose for the basketball, like you said.
And she actually passed up a lot of open shots.
Did.
She could have had a bunch of points herself, but again, that's just the mentality of the program. Find a more, or even if you're open, find a more open teammate, either for a layup or a shot that you know is more familiar to them. And when you have girls, players that are allowed, and they have the mindset, all right, let me seek out the best possible shot, you can have a lot of success.
Without question. That's what we see from the Showstoppers over and over again here at the Reggie Lewis Center at the BNBL Championships. Folks, if you want to watch this game again, you can certainly go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/game of the week. All the games from this season are up there. You can also see those games on YouTube. You can also follow us on Facebook, because we post the games up there as well. That's Game of the Week at Facebook. Just search for Game of the Week in Boston here. You can see a lot of good stuff there. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. 1 down tonight, 2 more to go here at the Reggie Lewis Center. But for right now, we're going to say so long here on Game of the Week. We'll see you in a few.